My name is Professor Arif Herekar and I'm a passionate traveler, and my travel takes me to places all over the world. But one of my favorite places is Thailand, a Southeast Asian country, which is not far from where I come from, Pakistan. Of course, there are reasons for me to frequent Thailand. It's a Southeast Asian country and it is famous for its beaches, its temples, its people. It is not very expensive and it's safe to travel. That's what people normally want to have as a travel destination. The purpose of this video today was to tell you about my favorite city of Thailand called Phuket and its surrounding villages and islands. For me to travel to any major island or beautiful island anywhere in Thailand, I must touch down in Bangkok, which is the capital and the most populous city of Thailand. It is known, of course, for its heat. It is on an average, the main city, Bangkok, is the hottest capital city in the world. What it has is famous and amazing foods which cannot be found anywhere in the world. In December of 2019, I took a flight from Bangkok, which is almost like an hour, into the province of Phuket, the Phuket city, and I landed on the Phuket City Island. Now, the Phuket city is a city in the southeast of Phuket Island in Thailand. It is the capital of the Phuket province and it has a population of, if you look at the 2007 population, it had about 75,000 individuals. So Phuket is one of the oldest cities in Thailand. It was an important port on the west of the Malay Peninsula where the Chinese immigrants first landed. Usually when I land in Phuket, I go straight to my favorite town called Patong. The beaches are beautiful, the people are great, the city is an open city with fresh air and very pleasant environment. So describing my favorite town called Patong. Patong is a beach resort town on the west coast of Phuket Island, facing the Andaman Sea in the southwest of Thailand. Its sandy beaches, crescent areas lined with cafes, restaurants and bars. Its sandy crescent beaches are lined with cafes, restaurants and bars. The famous go there and relax on the beach, look at different islands and of course do my photography and fly my drone. What is interesting about Patong is that it is loaded with foreigners, with westerners, people from Europe, USA and other places. Of course, even other Southeast Asians. The beach is very pleasant to walk on. You can hike on the beach for several kilometers. The actual length of the beach is 2,850 meters and runs the entire length of Patong's west side. Of course, there are two areas where those who are interested in nightlife can go, the Bangla Road and the Paradise Complex. I usually spend time on the Patong Beach Road, which runs along to quite a distance. And of course, if you look at the long, almost 3,000 meter long, 1.77 mile beach, you can see that it is full of people relaxing. There are umbrellas, you can go and relax. You get it on rent. Then there are people, there are more, of course, there are very few local Thais that you can see. There are more tourists, because it's one of the greatest tourist attractive beaches or attractions in the whole of Southeast Asia. It's a long beach with turquoise water, white sand, and then of course you have lots of games. You can have jet skis and you frequently see parasailing. Of course, people may be paragliding, but here you can see parasailing quite often when you look at the Patong beach. And then from Patong, you can travel, day travel, short travels to different islands. There are quite a few beautiful white sand beaches which are outside the area of Patong and Phuket. When we talk about Patong, we basically talk about the beach actually, which is the famous thing, and of course the town on the Phuket's west coast. It is of course, as we see it, you can see it for yourself as I use my clips and my videos, that this is a big tourist resort on the island of Phuket. And of course it's a center for nightlife and shopping. You can do a lot of shopping here as well. Now the beach became popular with Western tourists, especially Europeans, in the late 1980s. And thus it has numerous hotels, and the area is now expanding into a big tourist place. Now Patong is also called the party capital of Asia, with some famous, like I said, nightlife and great beach I've already referred to. Now mostly made up of hotels, world-class restaurants, nightclubs and various tourist attractions. This is what we call the hedonist's heaven, with numerous entertaining complexes and countless bars clustered around I've just called the Bangla Road and the Beach Road. Now the Beach Road keeps, if you look at the Beach Road while I was riding through, I could see shops lined, the area is open, the beach goes right along, and you can run parallel to the beach when you're traveling. So if you look at these areas in Patong, it may be a good destination for the average backpacker, except in the rainy season of course, when prices are far lower. However, backpackers are not Patong's target market. It is fairly and squarely aimed at holidaymakers and does it rather well. When you look at places to stay in Patong, the roaming houses, mansions, a few blocks inland provide nice, clean, air-conditioned rooms and suites, and some of them are as cheap as 300 to 500 baht per day. However, if you look at it, Patong has every type of accommodation imaginable, from homestays to palaces. So there are three main axes, and they're aptly called, of course, the Beach Road and the Rat Uthet Road, of course running parallel a few hundred meters inland and bisected at the midpoint by the world-famous Soy Bangla. I must tell you, when you fly in, the sceneries are so beautiful, and when you land, you're landing on an island. The Phuket International Airport is about 35 kilometers north of Patong, and of course you can get limousines from the airport to Patong and are a steep 600 baht. It takes about 45 minutes. Of course you also get meter taxis at 400 bahts. So I, in my latest expedition or trip to Phuket, I would like to describe my one-day trip to the Phi Phi Island. Phi Phi Island is a very, very famous island, and let's see what we have on the Phi Phi Island. So of course, if you take a trip from Phuket to Phi Phi Island, there are basically two options: ferries and speedboats. I took a speedboat, of course. It's faster and you can cover a lot in a single day trip. The ferry, of course, is by far the most popular method of reaching the islands. Ferries take about 2 hours from Phuket and 90 minutes from Krabi or Koh Lanta. The main departure airport, of course, as I've told you, in Phuket is at Asada Pier Airport, which is located in Phuket town. So it can take as little as 45 minutes to get to Phi Phi Island from Phuket by a speedboat. That's what I did. Of course, if you ask people, the Cove Phi Phi is, of course, always worth seeing. In fact, with its turquoise water and stunning beaches, it's a paradise everyone should visit once in a lifetime. Even though sometimes the Maya Bay will remain closed, but of course there are other locations that will give you enough to look at. Of course, you can see for yourself that this place is definitely worth visiting. The long beach northwards is where to go. Phi Phi is, of course, a magical destination. So when you look at the Maya Bay Phi Phi Islands from a bird's eye view. They look stunning. You can see them for yourselves. The beaches are beautiful. The water is turquoise. You can see boats standing everywhere in that turquoise, clean, serene, amazing area to photograph and videograph and capture from the air, as I'm doing now. The place is quiet, it's not crowded, it's pretty calm. So the Phi Phi Islands are an island group in Thailand between the large island of Phuket and the Straits of Malacca coast of Thailand. Now if you look at it, they are administratively part of Krabi province, Ko Phi Phi Don, and it is the largest and most populated island of the group. Although the beaches of the second largest island, the Ko Phi Phi Lee, are visited by many more people. The rest of the islands in the group include the Bida Nok, Bida Nai, Bamboo, and are not much more than the large limestone rocks jutting out of the sea. Of course, these islands are all reachable by speedboats, as I've done, or what we call the long-tail boats. You can come from the Krabi town or from the piers in Phuket province. So if I talk about the Phi Phi Don, it was initially populated by Muslim fishermen during the late 1940s and later became a coconut plantation. The residential Thai population of Phi Phi Don remains more than 80% Muslims, although the current population, however, if counting transient workers, is more Buddhist than Muslim. The resident population is between 2,000 to 3,000 people. The beach is surrounded by the limestone cliffs typical of the islands. The islands came to worldwide prominence when Ko Phi Phi Lee was used as a location for the 2000 British American film The Beach. So from the archaeological discoveries, it is believed that the area was one of the oldest communities in Thailand, dating back to the prehistoric period. It is believed that this province may have taken its name from Krabi, which means sword. This may come from a legend that an ancient sword was unearthed prior to the city's founding. Now looking at the name Phi Phi originates from Malay. The original name for the islands was Pulau Api Api. The name refers to the Pokok Api Api or the fiery tree which is found on the islands. There are of course six islands in the group. They lie 40 kilometers, 25 miles southeast of Phuket and are part of the Hat Noparat Tharako Phi Phi National Park. The national park covers a huge area which is home to the abundance of corals and marine life. Like you've seen, there are limestone mountains, cliffs, caves, and long, white, sandy beaches. Phi Phi Don and Phi Phi Lee are the largest and best known islands. So if I talk about the Ko Phi Phi National Park's climate, it's influenced by tropical monsoon winds. There are two seasons, of course. The rainy season, which is from May till December, and of course the hot season from January to April. If you look at the average temperature, is between 17 and 37 degrees centigrade, and of course one should not try and come in July, which is the wettest month, and of course Feb is the driest. Of course, the ideal way to come to these Phi Phi Islands or Phi Phi Island chain is to stay overnight, hang around, enjoy the beaches, the turquoise water, the shopping, and all the landscapes, the amazing landscapes. But I was there for just a couple of hours, but that was absolutely stunning and staggering. Some of the greatest beaches and a great speedboat ride. Of course, after the day trip, I returned to the beautiful town of Patong and enjoyed the aerial view of the Patong beach, which extends to a long distance along the beach line. It is almost always populated with tourists almost all around the year, although there may be a wet season like July, but the tourists keep pouring in, arriving at the Phuket airport and transiting to the town of Phuket or to the small town of Patong. After this 3-day trip, I returned, taking off from the airport with some stunning views from the air. When I squinted down, I could see the edges of the islands. And I was told that plane spotting is a popular activity in Phuket. The hotspot for watching planes coming into land is at the western end of the Phuket International Airport runway, at the southern end of Mai Khoi Beach. The place is idyllic. Mai Khoi Beach is about 50 meters wide at low tide, and the turquoise colors of the sea, especially between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., are absolutely offer stunning photo opportunities.